So we're continuing to review The Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift and Reputation by her, and Blood Quantum. And James is eating sweet kale salad and Udi's gluten-free English muffins, which we were given these free. And sweet kale salad, well, I bought that from Superstore for, I think it was $2.80 a bag, because it was on sale for $3.99 and had 30% off stickers, so I think that's right. But James could do the math in his head, and he'll tell you, I'm sure.
Okay, lay that on there.
$3.99 minus 30%.
Well, we'll say 4 because that's what they charge, right?
Yeah,
Or minus,
it would be, because they do the penny rounding. So it's funny how they still have the prices at the store that say 99, but really it's penny rounded.
Well,
so
it would
it's
be
funny.
Short $1.20, so it'd be.
There you go.
What would that be? 280. I just woke
So
up. Well,
I guess
see?
I got it right,
Yeah.
which
Pretty impressive.
I'm not great at math, but
Oh,
I don't know.
No. Sorry, it'd be 310.
No,
Okay, what did you say the price was initially?
$3.99.
Okay, yep. 280.
So anyway, I'm going to read a poem that I wrote, and I wrote it in a rhythm that I like, and I don't know what this rhythm is called, but James probably knows. It probably has a name. It's
It might be Pauline.
no, it's that. What's that?
It's one that I invented independently, so
Oh,
it's our own.
he likes it too. Somebody else probably did it too.
Maybe.
It probably has a name. Anyway, you will hear it. You'll hear the rhythm. We both like it.
Probably had something like that, but that would be
We like writing in it.
quantitative meter, not accentual meter.
So this was called Me and My Body, and I wrote it today, July 14th, 2024. My body's not me, and yet it is mine. To feed and protect, to love and enjoy. It may have some flaws, but suits me just fine. My body's divine. It isn't a toy. Emotions I feel may really be mine. They're triggered by things I carry in me. Each feeling I have is really a sign I shouldn't have eaten something, you see. They're signs I've abused this body of mine, protecting myself from outside abuse. Like sugary treats, caffeine, and sweet wine protects me and mine for optimum use. My choices cause feelings, so they are mine. I choose how I live and who I will see. I choose my abusers. I draw the line for what I accept, for who I will be. Emotions I feel are really not mine. They're messages from my body to me. My body expresses when it's not fine through feelings it has. These feelings aren't mine. These feelings aren't me. Sorry, screwed up. A lot of minds in here and me, so though some of the thoughts I have may be mine, I feel like they lead to where I should be. So long as I follow, everything's fine. I'm guided by thoughts. My thoughts are not me. Emotions, my thoughts and body aren't mine. My body holds sparks of light you can see when viewing my eyes. They sparkle and shine. Electrical currents really aren't me. They're rivers within this body of mine. They endlessly flow as long as I live. And if I've no pain, they're flowing just fine. I've comfort or pain from sparks that they give. This universe me is really not mine. Bacteria that are nurturing me may send in requests when choosing to dine. My brain sends these cravings, fortunately. Where am I within this body of mine? Where am I within this body of mine? I'm nothing, but something, caretaking here, a part of this wondrous human design, intangible, but essential. That's clear. So that's my poem that I wrote, and I stumbled a few times, but you'll have to forgive me because I'm a little bit overheated. I did drink some water right when we got in. We just got back from a hike. And I'll say that if I can find these salads on sale for $2.80 a bag, of course I'm going to get them. This saves me a lot of work, and especially when it's hot outside and all of that. I mean, if I want to be washing a bunch of produce, that takes time, and it takes water, and so I mean, really, if I want to be want to conserve water and use it wisely, I won't just rinse the vegetables down the water down the drain. Take it outside and rinse it out there, or rinse it into a container and then take that container outside to water the plants or whatever. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work chopping up the vegetables and all that sort of stuff. And so $2.80, really cheap. But the emphasis here, sweet kale salad. That's very sweet dressing. And I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with using dried fruit in salads. I really like salads that have chopped up apricots, or dried apricots, or like I was meant. This salad has the cranberries, dried cranberries, and those are lovely. But I mean, dried fruit, that's very sweet, and it's sweet enough on its own, one would think. But I understand with kale is tough to get down, and so they really pump up the sweet, the dressing sweet, the cranberry sweet, whatever. But a few years ago, I wouldn't have allowed myself to eat the dressing, but I have been. And there are consequences to eating a lot of stuff like this, even though I mean, it's fairly healthy. Get a bag of salad, that's great. I mean, you got to get the kale down somehow and whatever. So, but I think I should probably make some healthy salads for the next few days, or a few weeks. We'll see. We'll see if I can do it, because I would like to show you some other ways, just to make things just marginally healthier, maybe still having some fruit in them, but maybe opting for some fresh fruit in the salads instead of dried, or opting for, like James had the broccoli crunch salad the other day, and he didn't eat the bacon out of it because he won't, so the dogs had that. But I mean, you could, even if you made that's a similar sort of broccoli salad like that, and you put, what are they called? Hickory sticks, the little chips, in instead of bacon, I bet you that would be healthier than eating that grody looking bacon that they supplied in the salad. And but whatever, I'm very thankful that I got these salads for $2.80, very cheap. And I got those grapes for $2.80 for 2 pounds. That's amazing. So I'm very thankful for that too. So what do you think about these gluten-free English muffins we were getting?
I'm liking them.
Okay. They look kind of weird to me, and they have a weird texture. They seem kind of styrofoamy or whatever. I don't know. Kind of weird.
Still okay to me.
Okay. Well, if they do to you, then that's great. So I forgot to show the ingredients. I brought it out, turned it over, so I'd remember to do it, and I forgot. But it's hot. It's hard to remember to do things correctly. Couldn't even read my own poem very well. So anyway, blood quantum. So I mentioned this yesterday a little bit, and I didn't mention the part of the movie that I liked the least. We didn't get to that part. The battery kicked out. And so it's near the end of the movie, and there's 3 people in a canoe. One woman she gives birth to a baby. The baby's okay, but she has been bitten. So it's a zombie movie, so you know what's going to happen to her, and she knows, and she doesn't want to hurt her baby. So anyway, and they know that they have to take care of her. The baby's going to be okay, so you feel good in the end about that, but she's not. And but what happens is the guy, he stands up, she's laying down in the boat, and he shoots her to kill her. What's the problem with that? She's laying in the boat, he shoots her. Yeah. Somebody involved with the movie, everybody frankly should have said, wait a minute, we have a problem here. This is, but anyway, somehow the boat you see it sailing away and everything's honky-dory. Yeah. That's not acceptable. Even for a zombie movie. Unless it's like if you're joking around and somebody jokes about that or whatever. Like, oh, you would have thought the boat had sank, shooting a big hole through it. But anyway, so Tortured Poets Department. James and I are going to do a bit of an analysis here. We sat down and we did it yesterday. So I'm going to read a few of Taylor Swift's lyrics, and then we're going to talk about this as we go. And I don't know if this will work out well because I was just writing down things. So I'm going to do it.
Before you start, we picked the 3 songs out.
Yes.
Where she wrote all of the stuff.
Yes, it doesn't have anybody else listed here, so this is just written by Taylor Swift.
So
I didn't want to do an analysis
of her stuff.
Yes, I'm just assessing what she has done, not what other people have helped her do. So I'm going to read the first little stanza, I suppose, or how she has it separated here, paragraph, whatever. Now and then, she rereads the manuscript of the entire torrid affair. They compared their licenses. He said, "I'm not a donor, but I'd give you my heart if you needed it." She rolled her eyes and said, "You're a professional." Okay, so we're going to go over this a little bit. First, what manuscript of whose affair? So then, I mean, you read on a little bit and you think, okay, well, she's talking, there's 2 people talking here, he said, so you're assuming, okay, this is her or whoever, and this guy, so. But who are they? Why? What licenses? What does this have? I don't even understand this at all. Why is there licenses in here? This doesn't make sense. So driver's licenses, marriage licenses, what are they? Why? Donor should say, but I'll give you my heart if you want it, instead of
If you need
I'm not a donor, but I'd give you my heart if you needed it. Because if you want it, well, that's, I give you my heart, like, and then, it kind of makes sense. She's saying, oh, you're a professional, whatever. Because it's kind of like, yeah, I'll give you my heart. It's a loving sort of thing, right? As well as, anyway, a cheesy line, I'm not a donor. But anyway, she missed the opportunity of parallelism and the pun. So I got to read the next one. So this is the next paragraph in her little manuscript thing. He said, "No, just a good Samaritan. He said that if the sex was half as good as the conversation was, soon they'd be pushing strollers, but soon it was over." So she'd missed the parallelism in the pun, pushing strollers and pushing 30 instead, because later on after that she says, in the age of him she wished she was 30. So I don't know, I guess she could be a lot younger than 30 here, but it would have been nice to have that parallelism. And we don't really have an idea of how old she was at the time. And why does she wish she was 30? What does that mean? And then I did like, she put something about, well, this doesn't really make total sense, but I can see where she's going with it. And made coffee every morning in a French press afterwards. She only ate kids' cereal and couldn't sleep unless it was in her mother's bed. So that she's saying, I don't know why she thinks that making coffee with a French press is grown up, but anyway, I can see what she's trying to go for there. So then she dated boys who were her own age, with dartboards on the backs of their doors. She thought about how he said, since she was so wise beyond her years, everything had been above board. She wasn't sure. She doesn't put punctuation or anything, so it's really tough to. I know that a lot of people who call themselves poets like to omit punctuation,
They say if you cut it up into lines, the line
It's
cutting should
ridiculous. It
take
doesn't
the
do
place
that.
of
It doesn't do
punctuation.
that, especially when your lines run over to the next. When you're in jamming your lines, you definitely need punctuation.
She knows the
You
terminology.
need it. So this is very hard to read this way. It makes you look like an idiot, Taylor Swift, like you don't know how to use punctuation. So anyway, so we're assuming about the dating boys our own age that the first guy was older. And he said back to the older guy, how young she was then. So, where am I now? Oh yeah. In the years past, like scenes of a show, the professor said to write what you know. So I guess we're now thinking, well, she must be in college. You know, she's dating boys with dartboards on the back of their doors. I guess that's college. I don't know. Did people do that in college? Anyway, but anyway, looking backwards might be the only way to move forward. Then the actors were hitting their marks, and the slow dance was alight with the sparks. So, I mean, the actors were hitting their marks, so you're thinking, okay, well, this is a play, right? And I don't understand why this acting stuff's in there, though.
She did mention something about a show before, but
yeah, she mentioned the scenes of a show, but I don't know why this is all in here. Is this older man, was he an actor? Like, why? Please explain that. It makes no sense why it's in there. And the slow dance alight with the sparks. It seems like the sparks, the was added for rhythm, presumably because it doesn't need to be in there. And the slow dance was alight with sparks. You don't need the. It doesn't add anything. In fact, it takes away from it. So, and it feels like the sparks was just added. This whole slow dance thing with sparks, it was just added for the rhyme with the marks. It doesn't. I don't understand why that's in there. Maybe it was a musical play. Maybe he was on Broadway or something. I don't know. And the tears fell in synchronicity with the score. And at last she knew what the agony had been for. Okay.
And that's the end.
That's not the end. That's the end of the that part. So anyway,
Which rhythm? Part that was the end.
The rhythm's wrong for bin for. Bin gets the accent, not for. So she's wanting to rhyme the for with score, but the bin is the strong accent. The for is the weak. So you can't do that. It doesn't work. That's one thing you have to worry about. If you're looking in rhyming dictionaries, a lot of the time they don't differentiate between feminine and masculine rhymes. But when you're using a masculine rhyme, like score, then the masculine word in this line would have been bin, not for. That's the for is feminine,
accent, yeah.
For the accent. So, anyway. And it's something you just have to learn about language, which words will get the accent.
Yeah.
But it's not good when you do that. So, the only thing that's left in the manuscript, one last souvenir from my trip to your shores. Trip to your shores? There for the imperfect rhyme. Anymore at the end. Now and then I reread the manuscript, but the story isn't mine anymore. So anymore is rhymed with shores imperfectly. And it's not even good, and I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. Unless he was from overseas. And then you would have to tell that. That would have to be explained in here somehow. Because this is the first we've heard of this, and now this is the end of the song. So, anyway, and the story isn't mine anymore. Well, you're expecting, well, she's all grown up now. So she can write it off as a learning experience from when she was younger or something like that. So whatever. So another one we did, this is Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? So I'll read the first thing here for her. The who's who of who's that is poised for the attack. So attack is imperfectly rhyming with that. But my bare hands paved their paths. You don't get to tell me about sad. If you wanted me dead, you should have just said, nothing makes me feel more alive. Then what?
Watch out with more. You usually have to say what it's more than.
Yeah. So the first line, the who's who of who's that is poised for the attack. Well, it's just a jumble of thoughts that go nowhere. It's you like the sound of it, but it doesn't. It's garbage. It's a garbage line. But my bare hands paved their paths. You might like the sound of that too, but why is this line here? Why are bare hands paving paths? Like you're dragging your hands along. Why?
I thought this was talking about a guy, but she's talking about her fans. So kind of like swimming through fans or something.
Maybe. So anyway, that's what we're hoping for. Nothing makes me feel more alive than what? None of this first stanza makes any sense. It's really, and maybe maybe it's supposed to show how stressed out she is about the whole situation or something like that she can't think straight. So maybe I'll say that's not so bad as it sounds. So anyway, we read on. Second stanza. So I leap from the gallows and I levitate down your street, crash the party like a record scratch as I scream, who's afraid of little old me? You should be. So, I'll just continue on. The scandal was contained. The bullet had just grazed at all costs. Keep your good name. You don't get to tell me you feel bad. Is it a wonder I broke? Let's hear one more joke, then we could all just laugh until I cry. So, one, what scandal? Now, bullet, but before gallows. Why the mixed metaphor? Is it a wonder? Should be, is it any wonder? And let's go on. Chorus. I was tame, I was gentle, till the circus life made me mean. Don't you worry, folks. We took out all her teeth. Who's afraid of the little old me? Well, you should be. You should be. You should be. Okay. Till the circus life made me mean. What circus? We took out all her teeth. Whose? Hers? It sounds like a great little thing, but maybe for a different song, because you haven't mentioned a circus at all until now, and you're assuming, okay, well, she's like a lion, right? They defanged her, whatever. But then if they defanged her, well, should you be worried about her in any way? I don't know, maybe. So anyway, so tell me everything is not about me. But what if it is? Then say they didn't do it to hurt me. But what if they did? I want to snarl and show you just how disturbed this has made me. You wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me, so all you kids can sneak into my house with all the cobwebs. I'm always drunk in my own tears. Isn't that what they all said? That I'll sue you if you step on my lawn, that I'm fearsome, and I'm wretched, and I'm wrong. Put narcotics into all of my songs, and that's why you're still singing along. Okay, in this asylum, so now in an asylum, too many mixed metaphors. So it was a circus, now it's an asylum. All you kids, presumably her fans, isn't that what they all said? Who are they? Oh, I'm glad it's over. So they, I mean, there's too many theys in there. When you say kids and then the next thing you're talking about they, well then you're assuming it's going back to the kids. the they. But this is not. The way it reads here, it's maybe the media or something like that. If you're like, okay, what is she trying to say here? But this is not what she said. This is when you write a they, it goes back to the last they mentioned. And if there is no they mentioned, like in the first paragraph, he said and this and whatever, and you, and you're like, okay, who's you and who's whatever. It's not said. So anyway, and then James said, "Oh, I'm glad it's over." That was the last comment in that one. So where are we now? Oh boy. My boy only breaks his favorite toys. So James liked the title of this one, and of the ones that we analyzed, this was the one that we liked the most out of her songs that she did herself. So let's see, where do we go? Oh, here we go again. The voices in his head called the rain to end our days of wild. The sickest army doll purchased at the mall, rivulets to send my plastic smile. But you should have seen him when he first got me. So you're thinking, okay, well, he's an army man and she's like a Barbie or whatever. And you're thinking, well, the rain, tears or something. And so that's over. But anyway, my boy only breaks his favorite toys. I'm queen of sandcastles he destroys, 'cause it fit too right. Puzzle pieces in the dead of night. Should have known it was a matter of time. Oh, my boy only breaks his favorite toys. Okay. I'm queen of sandcastles he destroys is great. But where did the puzzle pieces come from? And honestly, like, one thing about the sandcastles that comes from, I don't know where that comes from either. You know, it's just, we're talking about toys, and then we're talking about the beach, playing on the beach. Maybe people play with their Barbies in the sand, though. So I'm gonna give it the okay, you know, because I don't know. But anyway, but the puzzle pieces, well, no, if we're on the beach playing with Barbies, there's no puzzle there. Kids are not playing with puzzles on the beach. I don't know where that came from. So you should have seen him when he first saw me is good. Okay. There was a litany of reasons why we could have played for keeps this time. I know I'm just repeating myself. Put me back on my shelf. But first, pull the string, and I'll tell you that he runs because he loves me. Because you should have seen him when he first saw me. So anyway, and we thought, okay, we'll pull the string, dolls have the string. Maybe some Barbies do too, so whatever, that's fine. My boy only breaks his favorite toys. I'm screaming, there was danger in the heat of my touch. I skipped some things there. He saw forever, so he smashed it up. Oh, my boy only breaks his favorite toys. Once I fix me, he's gonna miss me. Once I fix me, he's gonna miss me. Just say when I'd play again. He was my best friend down at the sand lot. I felt more when we played pretend than with all the Kens, 'cause he took me out of my box, stole my tortured heart, left all these broken parts, told me I'm better off, but I'm not. Okay, so the...
so she put sandlot in for the rhyme.
Yeah, I know.
A sandlot's where you play baseball. Now, there's a sand